Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's I'm going to be reviewing a Ford Bronco Badlands Sasquatch. This has the new sand color. I thought you guys would want to see it. Before we get in this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Super Ford here in Salt Lake. I'll include a link to their website in the description down below. Ask for Jaden if you have any questions. Also include a link to my car buying guide. Let's get into it. Under the hood, we have a turbo 2.7 liter V6 that goes through a 10 speed. Fuel economy is 18 around town, 17 on the highway, with power outputs being about 330 horsepower and then 415 pound-feet of torque. Before we move forward with this review, I do want to mention if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. Now this sand color I think looks really cool. It's flat, so there's not a lot of metallic flake in it. Now the Bronco has these signature circular lights. You can see the Bronco logo is finished in white, nice metallic grille. And then you notice that we've got the fog lights as well as the upgraded bumper. We also have recovery points here on the front end. So definitely a cool look. Now being a Sasquatch package, this has 35s from the factory wrapped around 17-inch wheels, and it is going to sit higher ride height wise compared to a non-Sasquatch Badlands. So you got the Badlands logo. And then if you're wondering, we still have the Bilstein position sensitive shocks. You can kind of see those underneath there. Independent front suspension as well. Rock rails there at the bottom. And there's your side profile. This leads us to the key fob. We've got the Bronco logo, or lock and unlock function. You've got the remote start function as well. And we'll pop into the rear. So it's got a swing gate just like a Wrangler. It does have a hydraulic strut to help out with opening. And the window opens up just like a Wrangler. Now you notice that it's painted here inside. And quite a bit of storage space. One thing that's nice about the Bronco compared to the Wrangler is it does have a little bit more cargo space. It's not a huge difference, but it's a difference, folks. Now finishing things up with the rest of the rear, I think it looks really cool. And by the way, this one doesn't have the painted hardtop, obviously, but I think it's an option you can get now. I did see one the other day that had it painted and it was from the factory, like 99% sure. Anyways, recovery points there as well. And then popping into the passenger cabin, you can see soft touch there. And look at these seats, pretty nice looking. And I've got good news for you guys. Guess what those are? Yep, they're vents. We've got our window controls for the rear as well. And other than that, space unchanged. And this leads us up front. Again, you've got the soft touch there on the door panel, blind spot underneath with the mirrors. 981 is the payload with this one. And then, see the seats here, got the Bronco logo there at the top. Power adjustable. Got the nice little grab handle. Oh, look, the coloration matches the exterior. That's cool. Light controls down below as well. Now Ting will get the steering wheel. You got the Bronco logo front and center. We've got controls for the center stack there on the one side, adaptive cruise control on the other side, traditional stock there on the back. Digital gauge cluster here with this one, and so you can use it to see different bits of information like Bronco information, for example, and gauges. So there's just a lot of info you can display here, so it's very customizable in that sense. And then it also has a fun little animation for the different drive modes. And by the way, since this is obviously an off-road package, we have a sand mode, a mud ruts, a Baja, and then a rock crawl mode that you can switch between. In reverse, we do have a backup camera with trajectory lines turned steering wheel. We got the bird's eye view because 360 camera life, which you can pop that on at any time. Shortcut bar here at the bottom, and then you've got this to scroll through so you can see different items. So again, very customizable, just like the digital gauge cluster. And then a bunch of physical buttons down below. So for like the radio, your climate, heated seats, heated steering wheel, all of that. Now being a Badlands, we've got quite a bit of tech. It's going to be hard visibility wise, but stabilizer bar disconnect, front and rear diff locks, trail turn assist, stability control all up top. It's even a little USB port there up top as well. And you can use that little shelf for storage. And then down below, we've got our USB port phone charging pad area. Shifter here for the 10-speed, and then we've got our driveline select. So we've got a traditional two-wheel drive, 2-speed transfer case, 4-wheel auto, all of that. Goat mode select in there. Window controls all in the center here, and then center console. Nice trim here on the top. And then this is cool. It looks like they match the exterior color again on the Bronco logo there, so they're trying to make it feel a little bit more special. We've got 6 auxiliary switches, and then this one's got top insulation. Now there's a lot of glare, so you're not really gonna be able to see the window sticker for this, but this is a 334A equipment group Badlands with some options added to it. $67,845 is the total MSRP, which actually, you know, not cheap by any means, but compared to the Wrangler, pretty good value. And I'll get a comparison when I can in the near future, Wrangler versus Bronco, but let's take this out. Right rear door ajar. Okay, let us head off. It's cool the Bronco's small enough that I can reach all the way back there and close it. Now this is what everyone's been wanting. Digital gauge cluster in the regular Bronco. I mean, the previous cluster still had lots of digital, just this is all digital. And the vents in the back, that's a big thing. Vents in the back. Now these position sensitive shocks are firm when you're going over stuff like this, so it makes it handle better. They don't really soften up a lot until you get bigger compression, hence the position sensitivity. Now the Bronco having independent front suspension, a solid rear axle, means that it's got kind of the best of both worlds, right? Kind of. And what I mean by that is it'll still articulate really well in the rear, but then up front, not so much, but that's what the stabilizer bar disconnect helps out with. Kind of evens things out enough to where the front still won't articulate quite as well as a solid axle, but it is pretty darn good. And we're still in the parking lot. It's a big lot over here, so it's not big lots, but it's a big lot. Ah. Now when it comes to driving, it's not really going to drive any different. It's still the same 2.7. So great engine when it comes to torque. Great low end torque. Smooth. Now just like a Wrangler, you're going to get more noise up top because it's a convertible. It's also a box. It's a convertibox. It is something to consider, but it's not as loud as the Wrangler. But I do think that Ford should give us some sort of body on frame SUV that's not a convertible, that is not, it's like the Bronco, right? It's like Bronco size, like a 4Runner, but a Ford 4Runner. It's called the Everest. Bring it over here, Ford. Chop chop. Yeah, like I mean, the Broncos, the thing that's nice about the Bronco is you get a somewhat similar experience to a Wrangler, right, in terms of the convertible stuff and the off-road capability, but in something that's way more daily drivable, right? The steering's not going all over the place. It's got pretty direct steering. The suspension's nice and tidy, and it's got power. Right, you got to go up to like a Wrangler. Really, you got to get up to the 392 for it to really feel like it's good power-wise, because the 4xe is just pathetic. Don't like it. I don't like it. So overall, Ford's improved the Bronco. The biggest improvement is those vents in the back. Let's be real here. Because, I mean, digital, I don't care either way. But yeah, having vents in the back is so... Because it was unusable before, pretty much, because it just got hot back there. You didn't get enough airflow. In terms of the Badlands, you get this if you're going to do off-roading, rock crawling more specifically, right? That's what the Badlands Sasquatch is all about. That's why it's got the 35s. That's why it's got the stabilizer bar disconnect. Now, I know a lot of people get this for just the looks. You do you, as they say, but what I'd say is I think the sweet spot in terms of, I think if you're just getting for the looks, just get like a base model Sasquatch. And you get the big tires, then you're not paying a big premium, but also good luck finding one, right? That's all.